Hi, I am not Walter Scott Houston, but I don't play him on TV either. How many of you had the honor of meeting Scotty? Yeah, you are in a very special and increasingly diminishing group of people. Cherish those memories, folks. There are fewer and fewer of us who remember Scotty. But Scotty used to give a talk in his Scotty-ish way while we were waiting for the natural light to go down and the darkness to come out so we could actually see the slides. And back in those days, they were really slides. Okay? And we've kept on this tradition in honor of Scotty, and it is a tremendous honor to be asked to do the Shadowgram. And to be asked to do it more than once means you're doing something right. I hope you liked my Disney-themed one last year with the Ken Barbie. Ken Slater was worried what I was going to do to him this year. Just wait and see. So, as you've heard, we're having some anniversaries around here on Breezy Hill. So I want to talk to you about Stellafane the next century, and I still want my flying car. Now, it's tradition that people celebrate multiple anniversaries, like, right, a couple. It's like the day we met, our first date, when we got married, even if you got married at Stellafane. We have a lot of anniversaries here at Stellafane. Some have already passed. The 100th anniversary of the first Russell Porter mirror class. The founding of the Springfield telescope makers last year. The Stellafane Clubhouse this year. The first convention coming up soon. I expect to see all of you back here. I'm sure we're going to have clear weather for that one. The Little Man and the Porter Turret, 2030. And the 100th convention, if I've done my math correctly, will be in 2036. Again, as you've already heard, we are in the 88th convention this year because we missed a few. And hopefully we will see you all back for all of these celebrations. So what are my predictions? I'm glad some of you are as old as me. That's great. These are my predictions for Convention 2124. How will Stellafane change in the next 100 years? We're going to have customizable camping spots. You are going to choose your ground slope. I knew you'd love this one. There's going to be 3 settings. First, Flatlander. Second, historical Stellafane. Third, how your grandparents remember Stellafane. You can also set your microclimate, the campsite temperature, classic Vermont, t-shirt weather, or how your grandparents remember Stellafane. The cloud mitigation system will be enforced then, so we're going to have a cloud-free convention with the exception of a scheduled 15-minute light shower at 3 p.m. on Friday to, in the immortal words of John Martin, keep the dust down. And our apologies to everyone who remembers doing this. Now, if you have any branches that are in the way at your campsite and you can't see that constellation you want to see, just call in the chainsaw drones, but only between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. so they don't bother our sleep. Unfortunately, we're going to have to up the fees to pay for the increased insurance in case of accidents. And coming soon, we have a new camping area a century from now, featuring an authentic, retro Stellafane experience. How many of you camped on Miller's Field? Oh yeah, we all loved Miller's Field. So what is this new camping site? It's not another Christmas tree farm. It is Swine Island. You're all going to go there, right? Okay. And speaking of which, we're going to have a retro hour at the swap tables. It'll be dry most of the time, but the last hour is going to be authentic swamp table due to our innovative underground sprinkler system. So the last hour will be just like your grandparents remembered. Something like this. And we're going to have flush toilets. Joking. Sorry. But we are going to have upgraded porta potties, which are bigger on the inside. Yeah. And there's a breakthrough in processing the early entrances on Thursday. We're going to clone Kim Cassia. But I hate to tell you, early entrance is still starting at 3 p.m. You all know the rules. The shuttle bus is slated to have a bit of an upgrade, although there were some rejected designs. And a new food service is going to be instituted around 2053. Not this. This. And surprisingly, not surprisingly, complaints dropped by 50%. Now, the site manager's succession plan. How can we ever replace John Martin? Well, we're going to fix the problem Disney style. Not like this, like this. If you get the joke, you get the joke. Sorry, John. We'll thaw you out once a year, put you on the Kubota, and then put you back in storage. I couldn't resist visiting my own grave 100 years from now. I think you can all commiserate with me, except for the people who won tonight. And following the great Starlink battle of 2042, when astronomers had finally had enough with those satellites, and the Porter turret lived up to its name, all satellites became painted with Blackbody brand paint and reflect no visible light. I'm sorry for your grandparents who told us what it was like in the before time. On November 14th, 2037, the club narrowly rejected a new policy for how to deal with white light violators at convention. If you can't tell, that's a black hole. Narrowly, just by one vote, missed being passed. Now, not everything innovative and new is good. If you remember some of the Cheetos lip balm is horrifying. So here are a few things that we suggested in the future for Stellafane that didn't quite make it. The proposed category for kitchen telescopes just sort of never really took off. The Stellafane fashion show never really took off for some reason. The infamous Ken Slater Clone Olympics and talent show only ran once, but it was quite an event. I especially liked the Hamilton medley self-accompanied on a tile keyboard. But in all seriousness, we all know what the future Stellafane is, right? It's right there. It's right there. And some things will never change on Breezy Hill, and that's very comforting. Fun. Friendship. Creativity. The clubhouse will always be pink. And you will always feel choked up when you come up the road and see that. So here's to the next 100 years of Stellafane, everyone.